Hey, what's up guys, it's Oakley, and this is going to be Attila Total War, and we're going to be using the 70 unit mod, which just came out not too long ago. Really cool, fleshes out all the rosters for the different factions, sort of as opposed to the Radius mod, which usually just kind of throws in a mishmash of units for all factions to the point where the factions, the main criticism is that the factions end up all kind of being the same and functioning the same because they have so many units with overlapping rules. Whereas 70 usually has a bit more of a theme going to it, and he does a good job of kind of he rounds off the faction rosters a little bit, but they're still kind of accentuated, so some are better than others. But in any case, I'm going to be fielding the army of Charlemagne here, and Indy Pride on the other side is going to be fielding an army of Danes. So I have a huge, massive force. We did this with huge armies. And let's actually, while we're at it, go ahead and look at some of the cool forces. The new unit skins, they look super epic. You have these almost like Falksman type units up through the front. And just my initial force to screen. And then I have some of these crossbowmen. And I really like what I was panning over in the beginning when you saw some of the, just look at this, the different colors on the shields and all that looked really cool. So that's awesome. And then you have the heavy cav that I'm going to be deploying here. Let's get some nice visuals on them. So yeah, they're rolling up. The rest of my just shield wall formed up, looking super impressive. Look at all the different colors and banners on this. This is how the game should be. So 70 definitely doing a good job. So the main deployment is I have a lot of these infantry blocks kind of in the center. I have my mailed spearmen. I wanted to hold a shield wall in the center. Have armored crossbowmen, swordsmen, and lancers on the right. And then up through the center, I was just going to kind of dodge and pick at the enemy with my armored archers, backed up by massed levy. We can take a look at these guys. Really crap troops, but it's enough to ward off a cavalry charge at least. And in the distance we can see these Danes, so we might as well go take a look at those guys because they definitely got their fair share of reskins as well. They look so ferocious. So I believe these are going to be your berserker type units. Yeah, royal berserkers. Funny with the wolf skin on top of the head, on top of the helmet, sorry. Looking a bit goofy. So I'm definitely going to try and target them first because they are super strong units. A lot of my guys are circling around on this side, peppering the Jarl riders. So I have the skirmishing advantage for sure. India's gone for more of a rush build, but I have more troops, so it's kind of an interesting inverse. He kind of has this smaller army of hard, heavy-hitting troops, functioning almost, I guess, like Chaos will in Total War Warhammer, and so this massive line, look at this, he's got no skirmishers, whereas I have 5, 6, 7 units of skirmishers, so it's going to be a bit of a problem for me. He's pursuing with light, oh wow, they even have light berserkers, so all kinds of variants of berserkers, and this is not where I want to have berserkers charging into my light troops, so I'm going to pull out of that engagement. I'm going to try and charge with some of my guys over here, who I was hoping would have a pretty nasty charge bonus. And cavalry is going to get in on the mix too, so it's going to be an all-out mess. I'm going to commit my spear Hirban into this mess as well, trying to catch more of the cav. And then on this flank, I'm charging out with my Frankish guardsmen, forcing these heavy melee cav away, and then I'm pulling back more cavalry to try and reinforce. These light berserkers are insane. They took 2 kills and have killed 60 men, so they just ran right through my Hirban. Now they're up against my spear Hirban, so they should be able to destroy those guys. So I'm a little worried about this flank. Indy is now wrapping around. I'm going to be in full-out retreat. I'm going to pull back 2 swordsmen. On this flank, I'm countercharging his men, but he has this deadly combination of heavy cav, heavy spears, and these now medium berserkers. So that's a potent combination. He's got something that can deal with everything, so all he has to do is get up close, tie me down, and then, yep, it's going to basically chew me apart. I have a lot of skirmishers, but they just don't have enough time to fire away at him. A couple of these isolated spearmen units are going to get taken to task. But you can see just one unit is scattering all of my reinforcements and allowing him to just crush my guys. On the flank over here, I did another charge with these Grand Hirban, and these guys are just really crap, I guess. I mean, I thought they'd do way better than that, but they got just destroyed on the charge. Indy's guys are, yes, admittedly better. I was hoping my guys would perform somewhat better and hold up, tie his guys up while my archers unleash. That is not going to be the case. In the distance, though, I do have the hidden crossbowmen and other units holding down that flank, so the center is going to be a bit at a standstill as I reform. So on this far side, I've surrounded his cab, and now we have, unfortunately, spears that are going to be getting in that disaster. And then up through the center, I'm going to form up into shield wall. However, this is going to be against long axemen, so this is, my guys are not long for this world. The axemen are meant to take out heavily armed units. So all down the front, his men are going to be charging the spear wall, which I figured would be rather representative of the times and historic of having a shield wall down the center, so I figured it would hold out a little long, enough for me to get light lance around the back and start hammer anviling. I'm trying to hold off on the left, but my infantry are just not good. Indy's, I mean, very heavy infantry. All his infantry is just way, way better than me, so I'm getting taken to task on all of these. The axemen reinforcing that, going to be doing a lot of damage. I am able to get charges here and there with my lancers, so 46 kills on them. So my shield wall is kind of holding. On the right side, his berserkers are light berserkers are going to get in on my guys, and he's just charging right past the line. He's going to be a booga 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 booga, scaring off my archers here, and that's a problem. I need to detach some cav to deal with those, but my lancers got destroyed by 2 of his units. So Indy is doing a good job of pairing up his forces together, whereas I'm kind of, getting beat every time my micro lapses and he gets any unit caught up with my guys. The superior quality of his troops is going to destroy me. So right here I have some reserves of armored infantry. One of them is going to go after the spears, and then here I'm going to try and rear charge these light berserkers. It's going to start to take him out, but meanwhile it's forced me to abandon this position where my mailed swordsmen are doing okay. But again, just, Saga Berserkers. Man, he has all kinds of Berserkers this game. That's why this mod is so cool. You have the huge variety of Berserker units, whereas otherwise you'd only see like one. So this flank is going down. It's being overwhelmed. In their center, my shield wall has collapsed. He's now at the second rank of my forces, where now I'm throwing in my Skole swordsmen. I do have a rear guard reserve of my own axemen, so they're going to be forming up. But this is kind of a core contingent of my force. They're going to start to just throw their axes into the mess of men. And so that's going to help me to rally the center. I've pulled back some of my spears, my archers. I'm recoiling back into the middle. I've lost this flank. I'm losing this fight here. My general, unfortunately, is caught up. And once again, the Saga Berserkers and other units just chasing my guys. And I'm having a hell of a time trying to survive. And if the general goes down, that's not going to be good. So my archers are all going to focus fire on his guys. I'm just going to kill everything here. My cavalry is doing a good job. They're running around, hammer and anviling the center, so I may be able to recover. I have one out. I'm getting a nice rear charge with my mailed axemen. But on the right side, this flank has fallen. I don't have much left to hold him back. I have palace guardsmen, which are really, really strong troops. But, that is fighting against normal infantry, against... these guys look really cool. Fighting against different kinds of Saga Berserkers and other Berserkers. Not super sure how that's going to go. So he's still got cavalry running amok, trying to keep them at bay, and he's just biding time for a unit of 120 Berserkers to get in. I'm going to decide to take this charge with armored swordsmen. Not sure that's the greatest move. We'll see how this goes. But it's what I needed to tie him down. Over here I have heavy shot against his guys, but he's going to come in and just swamp my units. This is not good for the armored swordsman. So I do have a nice angle lined up with my armored crossbowmen. Do a lot of damage, but it's really not going to be enough. Look how quickly those Saga Berserkers killed my guys. Mother of God. 180 kills. Oh my God, and they only lost 6 men. So those Berserkers are very, very, very hard to kill. You pair them up with basically spears, and you can't run them over with cavalry, and then you just rush your opponent. So definitely my idea of trying to kite did not work well. Indy is just crushing on all sides. So definitely this mod takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's super cool and really fun. So now I have my last stand of archers in the center. Only a couple units alive, and I'm recoiling on all angles. Still some cavalry left, some heavy knights. Let's go ahead and watch some of these guys because they do look sweet. Pulling back. to the last hold, and we can see here the lines in front of my men collapsing. They're not quite sure what to do. And look at those blood-soaked warriors coming at me. Oh god, this is not good. So here we go. I'm recoiling. Cavalry here, I can deflect that. I have my palace guardsmen doing pretty well. Like I said, they can do well against other normal infantry. They're still, you know, 120 with 3 kills, so they're doing pretty good. But now all of his guys, and ooh, Royal Huskarls. Let's see what the yeah, the skins on these guys look so cool. Here comes the wave. Oh no, the Saga Berserkers with 245 kills. I've got no way to beat those guys. I'm going to try and land some strikes with my heavy knights against his dudes from the flank. So somewhat of a nice kill. Over in the front, Palace Guardsmen, like I said, holding out strong. Only 1 loss, but these Berserkers are going to kill my guys. They are 300 kills. That is unheard of. Well, I guess maybe not unheard of in this mod. So I do have a little bit of a good thing going for me now, which is the fact that he's starting to get strung out. So look at all these archers. Now I can turn about and fire point blank and really massacre his guys. Indy's cavalry is almost out, and if that's the case and I still have cav, then I may be able to kite, take out the enemy general. So I still have hope. I still have heavy knights that are charging into his men here to try and slow them down. His guys are exhausted. My cav is actually now going to get faced with his guys as they turn around. Yes, it's going to delay them, but it means he's going to be able to take out my cav, which is not good. The Berserkers are coming back, and here comes the cav trying to charge me. Oh, dude, they have 8 horses. Reload, 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 reload. What are you doing? The last volley only clipped the guys in the back, and those last couple of men are going to be enough to tie my guys down, keep them from firing, and then the Berserkers here with now 350 kills are perhaps going to go for their next group of 89 guys. Over in the rear, I'm kiting a bit with my bowman, just sending forces back, but he... Oh, that's not going to scare anyone. So my archers there, crossmen are pulling back, and over here his Berserkers cleaned up my dudes. 415 kills, obscene. Like I said, Palace Guardsmen still holding out. They're attacked on both sides, and they're still at good health. So perhaps I should have had a tighter shield wall with these guys, focus more on cav to run over Indy's guys, and just focus fire on, I don't know, his general or his Berserkers. It's just hard to beat as I'm rewatching this. I'm not quite sure what I could have done better against Indy's forces. I mean, he just had superior infantry, pound for pound, across the board. I had more men, so maybe I should have formed up into a bigger formation. But you saw the speed with which his Berserkers destroyed my lines. I think if I made a huge line, he would have punched through wherever the Berserkers were, and my line would have had so many holes in it that I would have a hard time getting us around. So surprisingly, I had to play super defensive and just got taken to task everywhere. Perhaps a bit too aggressive with my cav, and didn't use my archers as well as I should have. I should have kept a couple in the front and then saved the rest for when Indy was totally committed, and then just focus fire on his Berserkers, had I known how absurdly strong those guys were. Anyways, nonetheless, they're still giving me a valiant defeat, so let's end the replay and take a look at some of the stats on my side. You can see, look how many guys I brought. 4,500. Indy brought half that number, or a little under half, and still just punished me. Let's see, who got the most kills? So, Axemen getting a lot of kills. Saga Berserkers with 427 kills. 317, 267, 42. So his Berserkers getting the majority of the kills. Royal Huskarl. So Indy just had some really nice troops. I mean, look at this. The Grand Heerband, that was wasted money. Shouldn't have used those guys. My Spear Heerband, totally useless. The Mailed Spearmen were what formed up my shield wall. They got destroyed. Probably should have gotten more Skull Eye Swordsmen because they did okay. And my Cavs seemed to do pretty good. I had a lot of cavalry, you can see here. But the cheap ones, it seems like the cheap units on my side were just completely wasted and didn't do anything. Crossbowmen and archers doing okay. So actually I should have probably kept those guys. I think ditching the Heerband, getting a couple more, maybe the Royal Guardsmen. As we saw, they where are they? They held out really well. Why can't I find them? Anyways, you saw the Royal Guardsmen, Palace Guardsmen did Awesome. Balance cards over here. They are. Okay. 48 on that guy. 3 on him. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just... The Danes are powerful. We'll leave it at that. And well played, T&D Pride. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.